You're listening to the Electronic Media Collective Podcast Network. Yeah, it's a mouthful. For more great shows like the one you're about to enjoy, visit electronicmediacollective.com. And now, our feature presentation.
The following broadcast is brought to you by Marked Out Wrestling Podcast. Marked Out Wrestling Podcast is not affiliated, nor do our opinions reflect those of WWE, NXT, TNA, Ring of Honor, New Japan, or any other professional wrestling promotion.
Marked Out Wrestling Podcast brings you the weekly Takedown.
All right, the date is January 19th, 2017. We are covering NXT, the network show from the 18th of the same month I just listed off. We got me, Rody Rob, in the house. I am fresh off of some dental work, so I am pushing out my words as best I can, ladies and gentlemen.
You sound good.
I appreciate it. I'm trying. We got Brian, as you can hear, on the mic.
What's up, guys?
Kiera may join us at some point in the show. So
Maybe.
We look forward to it. We welcome it. Absolutely.
I hope so.
On the board, we got an upload test in the house, JVL Shadow, and that's all I'm seeing right now. Maybe somebody will jump in as we get going. But as I said, we're going to cover NXT from last night, and we'll do our takedown topics. We got a spotlight tonight. Who's the spotlight, Brian?
I think we're going to do it on Eric Young. I'm not sure.
You're not sure?
No, I'm positive.
You're positive.
It's Eric Young.
Eric Young. And it'll be good for me because, again, Eric Young is one of those guys that I only know from NXT and from kind of seeing the old Team Canada on DVD in retrospect.
I mean, you said it best. I mean, in between, he's had so many different feuds, different gimmicks. Well, but I'll get into it later.
Okay. After we do the takedown, we'll do the spotlight, and then after the spotlight, we got an NXT Open. We'll cover a couple of the other topics we saw in the show as far as NXT goes that we just didn't put into topics. So there's what we're going to do before we kick off anything. Let's do a little housekeeping.
Housekeeping?
I think you're sleeping.
Housekeeping?
You come back in an hour.
Here are your Marked Out Wrestling housekeeping notes. Follow us on Twitter and chat with us throughout the week at SmartMarkShow. Send your thoughts and opinions via our email, markedoutpodcast@gmail.com. Follow us to get a better look inside our faction on Instagram at Marked Out Wrestling. Call us during a live broadcast or leave a message for a future show on our U Record Studios fan line, 704-444-0084. Like us on Facebook to argue politics and religion at facebook.com/markedoutot1. That's marked out the number 1. Finally, see what is coming up throughout the week on our website, www.markedoutwrestling.com. Get connected.
Housekeeping, you want me to jerk you off?
What kind of hotel is this?
Oh, it's you.
Can you dig it, sucker?
All right, so doing the takedown, we want to say hi to Steve Awesome on the board.
Hey, Stevie.
Stevie. Here's your topics for tonight. Topic number 1 is going to be, or this afternoon, I should say.
Afternoon.
Afternoon. Good afternoon, sir. Topic number 1, can you just not talk? Just no.
Yeah.
Topic number 2, a full moon over New Jersey. And topic number 3, the perfect rejection. So, let's kick it off with Number one, can you just not talk? So, this was, and you're going to educate me here, Brian.
Sure.
I titled it, Can You Just Not Talk? Because, again, I'm not really familiar with Roderick Strong besides what we've seen in NXT so far.
Right.
Wrestling skill has been, okay, it's good. You know, it doesn't mark me out.
I hear you.
It's all right. It's good. And for the first time on last night's show, I heard him actually cut a promo, and it was like, wow, that was not good.
Yeah, I mean, he's cut promos before on NXT TV, but I do agree with you. I think for whatever reason, that one just it didn't come across very well. And I'm a big Roddy backer, but
what's the appeal? Because I know he had a long tag team run with Austin Aries, right? And this is all Ring of Honor days.
Yeah.
Now, was Roderick in a TNA, or is he just Ring of Honor?
No, he was in TNA for a little bit also,
Okay.
But never really kind of, he never really had, a big TV presence, but he was there.
Okay.
But I mean, Ring of Honor is really where he, that's where he really kind of got a lot of his experience and a lot of his main event level skills.
Okay. So here's a question. When he was tagging with Austin Aries and they were making this, Would you say his name was made with Aries in that tag team, or was it made?
No, I mean, at that point, they were both kind of, I would say, I mean, at that stage, Aries was a little bit more of a, if you're going to go on the backstage, higher up, I guess. Aries was a little bit more higher than Roddy, but Roddy he always had the wrestling acumen, and he was always,
Well, I'm looking for the draw here. I'm trying to figure out what the big draw about him is, because when I look at his in-ring work and the limited amount I've seen, I'm not overly impressed based off, compared to what I've been told I should be expecting.
But that's just it. You said it exactly. He's, from the limited time that you've seen him, and he's only been getting limited time on TV. Yeah, they've been putting him on TV, but the matches that he's been having, they're not really, they're not really that long, and they don't really get to showcase his real in-ring talent, because that's really where his bread and butter is. And last night was just a good example of, him kind of trying to talk on the mic, and the message was made, but it didn't really.
So what I should be expecting, what I should be salivating over, is the Cien Almas match with him, which hopefully will be a takeover thing where he can expand his in-ring work and let everybody see what he's got.
He just needs more time on TV, and he really just needs more time to just really be in the ring and just have just showcase his skills.
Okay, JVL Shadow on the board saying Strong had amazing backbreakers. He can hit them from anywhere, and they look amazing.
The Messiah of the backbreaker. Yes.
Is he really?
Yes.
Okay, I've seen a few, and I thought, well, that's impressive. Upload test, I thought Nakamura's promo was the best since joining NXT. We had that same conversation.
Yep.
Upload, we're going to get there in a little bit and talk more in depth about it. So anyway, topic number one was kind of a quick one there. Roderick Strong, I'm looking forward to seeing what all the hype is, and I know it's definitely not the promo ability.
No, yeah, he just needs that one match in NXT to kind of really, make sure,
Well, here's the thing.
He needs to become a staple of that that brand, and it's just not that yet. I mean, he's only been there for it's very recent. So.
Well, sure. I'm just, if he's not a great promo guy, knowing WWE the way we do and Vince the way we do, does this limit his future in the company?
Honestly, in my opinion, I do see it kind of going that way. I hope it doesn't, because I'd love for them to kind of embrace his style and his kind of, performance.
Right.
But I mean, the way that it's been so far, I mean, if they continue down that path, I don't really see him, getting past that certain level. But I'm hoping, because I really am. I love watching the guy, and
you seem like a strong Mark.
I am.
A Roddy
Mark.
Yeah.
I mean, I definitely am. I love watching his work.
Are you a Roddy Mark?
Maybe.
Okay. Steve Cutler not looking too bad in this match.
No, I was very impressed with him as well.
I'm curious to see. I've seen him now, I think 3 matches on Full Sail. I saw one with him and Kenneth Crawford now. Montez Ford. We saw this one with Roderick Strong. I think I remember seeing another one. I can't remember who it was against. He always looks solid to me. And again, I think there's just something about him that's not grabbing me.
Yeah.
I mean, the pork chops are gone. So
They are. I'm kind of happy about that.
Yeah. The discount Wolverine's kind of on the backside. So we'll see where that takes us. All right. Topic number 2. Full Moon over New Jersey. All right, let's give a little shout out to the girls on this topic. So we saw Ember Moon and Liv Morgan doing a little promo with each other. And I don't know. For a minute, I thought Liv Morgan was British, but we all know she's
really.
Yeah, I did. I don't know. Even Kara was like, "Is she British?" I'm like, "No, she's from New Jersey." I don't. Maybe she's got Lana.
Yeah, it's often confused.
Maybe she's got Lana disease. I don't know.
Maybe.
But so Ember Moon comes in and obviously talking about they're gonna tangle it up next week on the NXT show on a network. And I was confused. Are they doing a de facto #1 contender after the Fatal 4-Way with the girls at Takeover? Are they just saying we're going to fight so we can show everybody what we got? Or I don't really know what the purpose is.
I don't think this really has any kind of legs. I think this is just going to be, just a once-off next week until we have, until the weekend.
Yeah, because the 4-Way is going to consume any women's action. So I guess they're just trying to get something to stay relevant in the meantime.
Right. Or maybe someone from the 4-Way comes in and interrupts their match, and so they can tie it all in. But
I don't know about that. I do think that, in my opinion, that Ember Moon for the Mania takeover, Orlando takeover, Ember Moon should be the heir apparent challenger for Asuka. I think Asuka
without a doubt.
Do you think Asuka retains in this 4-Way? I mean, we're going to make predictions more official later, but just at this point in time, I think the belt going anywhere else is a step back, and I know we're kind of marking on Nikki Cross a little bit.
Yeah,
I mean, I know you've told me how much you're starting to enjoy her presence.
I do.
But I'm just not sure if if she's ready to be the champion and to lead the division, even if it's for a short time.
Nikki Cross?
Nikki Cross.
No, I would give her a little bit more time.
Okay.
I think from what we've seen, I think she's, I'm excited to see her every time.
But she's got an aggressive ring style.
She does.
And the character obviously is a little bit batshit crazy.
But she pulls it off.
She pulls it off. I just don't know if she has that statue or name ID to be able to carry that women's title with any success.
Yeah, I mean, not yet, but the one thing that she does have working for her that none of the other women do is that she has Eric Young by her side and Sawyer Fulton. Sawyer Fulton, right. So, I mean, the fact that she has, she essentially, when they come out with her, it almost feels like she's the leader of the stable to me.
Yeah.
I mean, so it just kind of elevates her just by having Eric Young by her side, too.
Hey, Kiara.
What's up, Kiara?
Hey, guys.
Hey, welcome. Let me turn your mic on so people can hear you talk. There you go. Kiara on an NXT Takedown show. How you like that shit?
What's up, guys?
JVL Shadow saying, is Rob complaining that there may be 2 women's matches at TakeOver? No.
No, that you've got him confused with Adam.
Yeah, I'm definitely not complaining about that. Well, the Ember Moon and Liv Morgan match is going to be on the network. It's going to be on the weekly show next week.
Yeah,
right.
On Wednesday. Right.
Yeah, I don't see really a spot for a second women's match at TakeOver. So here we have Asuka, Peyton
Royce,
Billie Kay, and Nikki Cross in the Fatal 4-Way for the title at TakeOver.
Okay.
And then you got Ember Moon and Liv Morgan tying it up on the side. I don't know of really any other names that are worth a pay-per-view spot right now in that division.
I mean, that Fatal 4-Way match seems like it's going to be pretty event-filled.
Yeah, it might be enough, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, I wouldn't.
It ties up a lot of their roster, is
Yeah.
what you're saying,
Yeah.
or their
Pretty
division.
much.
I'm never opposed to additional women's matches. I am opposed if there is if they don't have the stature to hold a pay-per-view card slot.
Mm-hmm.
Unlike Adam, I don't see a problem with women main eventing a show every week.
Sure,
I think that's fine.
if the talent is there and the story is
Right.
there, I have absolutely no issue with it.
It's not shoving down my throat. So it's fine. Let's see. Steve Austin, Nikki is the George the Animal Steel of women. Well,
Getting there.
good in there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, sure. She's tearing them turnbuckles up, I guess.
It always makes me nervous when she goes over to the rope and bite. I don't, she hides it well, or when she bites the rope. I mean, if that thing just shakes even just a little bit, the
ropes are painful, man.
it's gonna fuck up her teeth a little bit.
It's not like Glow Wrestling where they were just like strung out.
Yeah, no, that shit's
blankets.
tight.
Yeah, many wrestlers have gotten like black eyes from that.
Right.
And concussions. Look at
She
Enzo.
makes me so nervous. I guess it's part of the gimmick, though, right?
What do you think
Yeah.
about? What do you think about Kiera? I was saying that I think Ember Moon is the heir apparent to be the challenger for Asuka at the Orlando Takeover before Mania. You think Ember Moon? Would you agree with that, or you have somebody else in mind?
I mean, yeah, I think so. Her character is taken pretty seriously, and she's pretty dominant, and she's one of the, what do you want to say, heavyweights when it comes to
Fucking with
the
the
title.
heavyweight.
Yeah,
Yeah.
when it comes to the title picture. So
And I don't think Liv
definitely
Morgan's
Liv.
ready.
No, we haven't seen
No.
enough of her, and that's not a knock against
she's
her.
a light.
It's just
She's a lightweight. You know what I mean by that,
Right.
When it comes to lightweights, I think she still has more rapport.
She's so
to
green.
build.
She's green.
Yeah.
Upload test saying Liv Morgan looks like Jessie Jane to me. Jessie Jane. I don't know Jessie Jane. Who's
I'm
that?
going to pretend like I don't either, but I'm pretty sure he's talking about the porn star.
Oh, okay. Way to
All
keep it
right.
highbrow there for
But
us.
I mean, allegedly, I have no idea.
Allegedly.
No, I have no idea who she is.
All right.
3.
Topic number 3, the perfect rejection. So we saw Ty Dillinger come out and do what a lot of guys do. I don't know what else is left for me in NXT. And then Sanity comes out, and the offer was made, and it was rejected. And then we saw Bigum's. What's Bigum's name?
Big Damo.
Big Damo.
Big Damo.
Kind of take the jacket, right?
Yeah.
Take the jacket. So, and that's fine. We'll see what Sanity has to do. I really don't know what direction they're going with Sanity. I'm sure they have something very well planned. I mean, if Hunter's running the world in NXT, Hunter's pretty good when it comes to factions.
Sure.
So,
yeah. He's a faction guy.
We can expect good things from them.
Yeah, and I mean, especially with Eric Young too. I mean, just and now we're starting to see it a little bit more because I was trying to think of notable feuds that he's had so far in NXT, and I mean, this has got to be right the top one.
Oh,
Yeah.
as far as factions go?
I mean, as far as Eric Young getting kind of spotlighted, because we've seen Nikki Cross and we've seen everyone else, and now it's finally going to be Eric Young.
Yeah, we haven't. I mean, of all the promos that Eric Young has cut, this is probably the most significant of them.
I agree. Right.
He jumped out of character and talked to somebody. and then snapped back in at the end like, I'm not asking you.
Yes,
kind of thing.
that's where he pulled me in.
that,
Right.
that caught me too.
As far as Ty Dillinger goes, and I'm curious because the crowd was chanting Royal Rumble number 10, Royal Rumble number 10.
Yeah.
What is there for Ty? Is Dillinger going to go after Young now? I mean, do we see that as a viable feud for him, or do we think Dillinger is going to move on?
I don't know. I mean, it was interesting because if you think about it as far as logic goes, I mean, so this guy is just he's losing all these matches and then he's going to get called up. So I thought it was weird that they were going with that.
Well, I mean, Tyler Breeze was losing, right?
I mean, but
Kevin Owens lost his title before he went up.
well, most of them lose their title, yeah.
they lose a title,
but
yeah.
Dillinger's been on a losing streak.
Right. And he's never really even had a major title in NXT. So that's why I thought it was weird that they were kind of diminishing his character a little bit.
Yeah.
It is kind of weird. I don't know what they have planned for Dillinger. I mean, yeah, he could go against Eric Young, I guess.
Yeah, well, I mean, it would make sense to do a feud with Eric Young. You could have a good takeover match
Why would
in
they
San
tease
Antonio.
that? Why would they just?
Well,
tease
they
that?
already. Yeah, I mean, we're gonna see it.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's already. I think they announced it last night. But
Oh, did they? I must have missed that part.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's one of the matches that is added to the card.
For
Okay.
takeover.
Yeah, for takeover.
Oh, well, then that's good.
Okay.
Well, then that answers my whole fucking question.
Oh, okay. I thought I was
All right.
I was under the assumption that.
I must have blinked. I must
No,
have.
we must have.
okay.
Yeah, because we watched that.
Yeah, we must have blinked
that
on that part.
Okay.
I don't know. Okay, well, good. That's good. So he stays in. So he could still, if he's in town doing a takeover, could he fight Eric Young and then still be number 10 in the Rumble?
Absolutely. I mean, Sami Zayn is a perfect example of someone that wrestled at Takeover last year.
Yeah, he did,
with
didn't he?
Nakamura, and then he wrestled at WrestleMania. So I mean, guys can do it, and I guess this is kind of where they're going with it. I guess we're going to see Dillinger on the main roster. I don't know.
I would love to see him there. I just don't know if they could put him up there without squashing his ass.
Right.
Honestly, JVL Shadow, didn't Owens go up before he lost the title? He did. He went up there and did some preemptive kind of situation. What against was it?
Cena.
Cena, right?
He came into WWE with
the
NXT title.
right?
And-
Kind of doing a part-timer role
Right.
between the two, and then went back, defended the title, finished a rivalry with Finn, and then came up
Dropped
full
it.
time.
Right.
Right. Okay. So let's see. Owens beat Cena on the main roster while he had the NXT title. Yes,
Right.
that is true. Okay. So there you go. There's the perfect rejection. So we'll see where Ty comes again. It's not going to be a long, drawn-out show, but this is going to be one of my favorite segments of the show right now. And yes, Brian the Heavy. Man, I had to find some music comparable to what you enjoy listening
like
to in
it.
your car. I mean, not
In my car.
There's not enough double kicks, on this, but you like that heavy metal with the
That's
double
slow and low.
and
Well, sometimes slow and low, but or
Right.
fancy the death metal.
You fancy the death
You
metal.
know who else likes death metal?
Eric Young?
Jerry Lynn. No, that would have been a better.
That would've been a better one.
segue.
You know who else I think likes death metal? Well, it shows on his Twitter. Seth Rollins.
Yes.
Yeah.
He does.
He
Yeah,
is a
he likes. Yeah, he likes a lot of good music.
Seth is a big fan of what's your buddy? We
Census Fail.
Census Fail.
Yeah.
It was what was his name again? It was
Buddy.
Buddy. Yeah, I said
Yeah.
Buddy, didn't I? Your
You did.
buddy.
My buddy.
So I had my buddy.
My buddy.
Yeah, that's cool. So Kiera, we're gonna do our spotlight segment now, and you wanna guess who it is? You'll never guess who it is. So I'll just tell you. Is it what?
Is it Eric Young?
Oh, it's in front of you.
Yeah.
What do you know about Eric Young? Do you know a lot about
To
Eric
be
Young?
honest, I don't know that much about Eric Young. I know of him.
Yeah.
I knew of him in the past, but I just never
All right.
really followed him like that. Not that I didn't want to.
So me and Kiera, we are your pupils, Brian.
Perfect.
Teach us.
Perfect.
All
Plugged
right.
in.
Eric Young, born December 15th, 1979 in Ontario, Canada. He's 37 years old.
I'm older. Wow.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
He looks older.
He's billed at 5'11", 225, and some notable points. He's an 11-time TNA. I'm sorry. He has 11 total TNA championships in his career.
How many X divisions versus main titles? Do you know, or just?
I just wrote down total.
Okay,
I
all
just
right.
wrote down total.
Okay.
Yeah. But he's considered one of the TNA originals. One of the few.
Yeah, see, I knew about that.
Right.
Yeah.
And he was there from 2004 till 2016. So he was there for the majority of his career, for a good 12 years. But he started back in 1998. He trained for 10 weeks. And this is one of my favorite kind of wrestling. I love the old kind of carny, just weird stories.
Yeah.
He was trained, I don't know if you know this guy, by Waldo Von Erich.
I know Von Erichs. I don't know Waldo.
You never heard of Waldo?
Neither did I.
Where
is he?
I mean, he was a Canadian he had a school up there, but he's not associated with them by
So
any means.
the answer to
He was
Where's
just-
Waldo is Canada.
Right.
Okay.
Right. So he was just using the name and gimmick to try to sell his shtick.
Right.
Mhm.
But meanwhile, he had no association to the Von Erichs, and he was just trying to,
so
and
kind
it
of
happens a lot.
Kind of like
Yeah.
Eddie Murphy and Distinguished Gentleman. I'm just going to use the name of the old senator so I can get elected.
Exactly.
Right,
Oh, okay.
right. So
Yeah.
no affiliation to the famous Von Erich family.
Okay.
He trained for 10 weeks and then had his first match on October 14th, 1998. So around this time, he worked on the Ontario indie scene, and then he worked odd jobs. He worked at a pizzeria. He manufactured brass horse harnesses and sand casting, whatever the hell that is.
Is that
Wow.
when you like build the big sandcastles and on display?
No.
And then
I don't think so.
No.
That sounds like a great career, though.
I've heard of that, but I don't know. what it
JVL
is.
Shadow is telling us that he was the only guy to hold a women's title in TNA.
That sounds about right.
Really?
That sounds about right.
Well,
Well,
I-
and that's a great point to bring up, because one of the things that stood out to me, out of anyone really, is that Eric Young had this long career in TNA, but he had so many different kinds of gimmicks and just ridiculous storylines and everything. I mean, he was just so versatile,
Yeah.
and that's really one of the things that was great about him with his career.
We got somebody on the line. Who we got on the line? Hello? Hello?
Hey, yo,
Yo.
listen up, Chico. I am here to tell you one thing, that the bad guy is better than any of these jackoffs here in the WWE. So listen up. Who came here to see NXT? Who came here to see the NWO? Ha! Score one for the bad guys.
All right. So I guess Scott's off the wagon right now. He could give us a call.
Yeah, it was good talking to you.
We're
Mr.
getting a lot of
Hall.
celebrities on this.
We
fucking-
do. It's
Yeah.
really, really bizarre.
JBL, before you move forward on it, JBL
Yeah.
saying that the breakdown is he had 1 X Division, 2 tag titles, 3 Legends, which is actually, I guess, the global and television as well.
Right.
1 heavyweight and 1 knockout tag team.
Yep.
Okay.
I mean, he was like, that just even proves the point too, that he was just all over the card as far as, he was main event, or he was the lowest of the the lowest.
So he
championship.
played all the roles.
Right. So he showed up in TNA. I think you'll remember this, the Team Canada part. I think that's when that's really.
I remember by watching DVDs of it like a month ago, or
Oh, really?
3 months ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he started in 2004 with TNA with the Team Canada thing. He had that gimmick going, and then after the Team Canada thing popped off, that was finished. He had a whole thing where he was. It was called the "Don't Fire Eric" gimmick.
Okay.
So he printed all these shirts, and he was basically just he was so afraid that he was going to get fired that he became this just kind of crazy and almost kind of manic type of gimmick.
I
Okay.
recall that.
Right,
To be fair, I
and he
recall
would even
You
bill.
recall that character?
Do you remember? Yeah, he would even bill himself just because he didn't want anyone to know that he would bill himself from an undisclosed location. He didn't want anyone to know anything about him because he was so afraid of getting fired. And the gimmick, I mean, it was great because, I mean, to an extent, that's how a lot of wrestlers feel when they work for big companies like that. They kind of walk on eggshells. So
Yeah.
for them to kind of bring it to TV and stuff, and he did it perfectly. And then, so he did that for a few years. Then he kind of transferred over to a superhero gimmick, wore a mask, cape, everything. That was about in 2008.
Okay.
And he called himself Super Eric.
Super Eric.
Super
I
Eric.
didn't know about that gimmick.
Oh, yeah. And he kind of did that for a little while, still kind of, maybe won a belt here or there.
Treading water.
Yeah, exactly. And then he had a feud with the band. And this was in around like 2010 to 2011. And the band was almost like kind of like a watered down version of the NWO. This is
Okay.
when they brought in Kevin Nash, Scott Hall, and I want to say it was X-Pac, Sean Waltman.
Okay. He was 6-pack there or someone. Or
Something.
six-pack
He
or-
wasn't X-Pac, right?
Yeah.
And so he was feuding with main event guys, not necessarily in the main event. And then he kind of transferred from there into a mentally challenged gimmick.
Oh. Okay.
I mean, it's really going all over the place with this guy. And then from here, he met. Do you remember the wrestler ODB?
I do.
Okay.
She
You do.
would
Yeah.
grab her hoo-has and kind of that was like her thing. Even her T-shirt that she had handprints
Yeah.
on the front.
Okay.
and he won a tag team championship with her actually.
Mm-hmm.
So
that's what JVL was talking about.
Exactly.
Okay.
Right.
All right.
And then so that was from about 2011, 2013, which brings him to the World Championship in 2013, when that was, of course, when Daniel Bryan in WWE won the belt.
Mm-hmm.
TNA, in their ever, just brainy decision making.
Yeah.
They also decided, hey, Eric, who do we have that is around the same size as Daniel Bryan, that has a big beard, that we can trust? They put the belt on Eric Young, and this is when he wins his first TNA World Championship. And it really didn't come across well, just because everybody kind of saw through it, and they were like, guys, you're just fucking doing this.
It was like the Family Dollar version of Daniel Bryan.
It was, it was pretty bad. I mean, but it was good for him in a sense that he actually finally was recognized for his work.
Yeah.
So who was this? JVL's telling me that at one time he went by Showtime Eric Young, and it was something about Sting. He was afraid of Sting was out for him, or
Showtime Eric Young. That would probably land somewhere in around 2006-ish.
Okay.
I want to say, because that was after the Team Canada.
Okay.
And then so he had that going on, and then he jumped to Global Force. That's Jeff Jarrett's new promotion.
Oh, yeah.
And that was in 2015 before finally landing in NXT in October of 2016.
All right. And did you know also, Brian? Did you know that Eric Young has he had a fishing show
on the Travel
Fishing
Channel?
show.
Wow, this guy's well rounded.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's another one of his draws too, is that he had kind of he transcended the wrestling world, and he had. And it was a very well received show.
Well, is having a fishing show really transcending, or maybe just?
I mean, it got
maybe just what?
Look how tough it is. I mean, even guys like Batista, getting acting roles, and everyone kind of scoffs at it.
Yeah.
So a guy like Eric Young getting his own TV show,
fishing show.
I mean,
hey!
If you're
one of my favorite wrestlers, Shawn Michaels, has his own hunting show.
That's true.
Well,
Yeah.
Shawn Michaels has a. Okay, all right, yeah, sure, okay, all right, whatever, all right.
Just saying.
Let's see. JVL saying that was also after AJ left. It was like when Dreamer won the title.
Right.
Showtime.
Yeah, they're just trying to, they're just giving it to a guy, almost like a transitional champion.
ECW. Was he in ECW?
No.
Oh, when Dreamer won the title in ECW.
In ECW.
Oh,
right.
Okay. I see. He split your sentence up, JVL. What the hell? Oh, I just rhymed. How you like that? All right. Anything else about Eric?
I mean, I can go through some just notable matches.
Sure.
We had Team Canada versus America's Most Wanted from Final Resolution 2005.
Okay.
We'll have to watch all these.
Yeah. Well, we will.
Yeah.
But one of the most notable ones that I'll just mention is the Team Canada versus America's Most Wanted from Lockdown 2005. Have you ever seen the clip of Elix Skipper getting hurricanranaed from the top of the cage?
I'm gonna say no, I haven't.
Okay, well, we'll have to sit down and watch that after we get this.
All right, got somebody down the line. Who we got on the line? All right. Okay.
You see, apparently, they don't know that the Freakzilla is the best in the ring. You see, because I am in my own league, and all these freaks out here do not know that I got my freaks and my peaks, and I don't breaking for nobody. You see, even when the Mercury and Venus align with the Saturn and the Earth becomes nine in the mat, that I am the greatest in the world. So yeah, I'm the big bad, pop, holla if you hear me.
I knew it right away. I was like, Scott Steiner?
Yeah. He's your hookup.
Little incoherent.
Had
to wait till the police car was coming by too to give us a call, didn't he?
Well, it's his entrance music.
Yeah. Okay. JVL, we're gonna work on the lag. I know there's a little bit of a lag with us on the video. We're gonna work on all that stuff after our anniversary show. Which brings me to just a reminder: anniversary show Royal Rumble. We're gonna be live streaming as we watch Royal Rumble. We're gonna be live streaming on Facebook Live, so you guys watch us get nice and tanked, nice and shitty, play our drinking games, react to stuff, and then of course we'll go live after that with our anniversary show. So let's go to the NXT Open here, Brian, Kiera.
Let's do it.
We'll start with the Revival and TM61. So
Okay.
we had made mention last week that TM61 had an injury and they're going to be on the shelf for a while. And obviously this was a work to put him out there for surgery.
Right.
So that's fine. We can put that on the shelf. Not much discussion needed there. I do want to reference, though, Revival and just how damn good they are.
Can't argue with that.
No, I mean, they've had, how many different teams that they feuded with, and every single time it's like, oh, this is the match of the year. Oh, no, wait, this is the match of the year.
Right.
And it's just, I mean, to be in that conversation, it's
they're the constant in that.
right.
All
Exactly.
the match of the year.
Right.
But for me, it's watching them do the false finishes, and nobody does it better.
No.
Nobody does the false finishes better than Revival.
As far as creativity goes,
Right.
I'm on board with you.
Just the overall the tag team ability, just the partnership, the timing, the move sets. I don't know. I'm so impressed by Revival.
I like their originality. I think they have a lot of original feel to their tag team. From the moves that they do, to like the taunting in the ring.
You know what? I don't think it's original, Kier.
Well, when I say original, it's kind of like old school days when I say original.
And that was my point. Yeah. Originality is as far as something we haven't seen in a very long time.
Yeah.
That was really good back when we did see it.
Yep.
Yeah, they're coming out and they're on fire. I mean, the Brainbusters comparison is made all the time.
Yeah.
And it's well deserved.
It's accurate.
I mean,
it's kind of scary at the same time.
The one with the full beard, that's Dawson. Is that Dawson or that?
That's Dawson.
Okay.
Yeah.
That he did a
you mean with the black beard or
no, the other one, not the
Wilder.
not the bald guy.
Dash Wilder.
Oh, Dash Wilder. He did a spine buster, and where he like threw him in the air and caught him and did it, and I was like, Arn Anderson all day, because Arn was the best. Arn would leave his feet with his guy and do the whole rotation in the air and slam him down.
Yeah, when you talk spinebusters, he's the at the top of the list as far as who did it best.
But oh boy, Wilder, he's getting crazy with it. I like it a lot. So with Revival moving forward, TM61 being on the shelf, does Revival wait around for them to come back? I mean, how long will TM61 be gone for?
No, I think it's going to be a couple months until he's ready to go.
So they're probably heading to the main roster.
They're moving on. They're high priority.
Okay.
Yeah.
Revival.
Yeah. Okay.
I agree.
And then let's talk about a contract signing where Nakamura said, "You'll not get NXT championship." You're pretty, Bobby Roode. You're pretty. We in Upload said it earlier that this is probably one of the most prolific best promos that Nakamura's had throughout his reign here, and it's the best since "I Must Beat Icon."
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
I'm liking the mojo between the two of them.
Definitely.
I don't know if it's going to be the best of the rivals that Nakamura's had, though.
It's an interesting one. I think it's pretty comical. Not comical to the point where I'm like laughing at them, but it's entertaining.
It's entertaining.
There's definitely a different air to it than what we've seen with Nakamura and Joe. With that, it was way more
serious.
Yeah, and we knew that these guys were going to beat the hell out of one another.
Exactly.
With Rude, I see it more, and we saw it last night. He's kind of attacking Nakamura's style, and he's kind of more mentally kind of, trying to mess with Nakamura. Not to say that their match won't be hard hitting, but that's kind of more of the way that.
Yeah,
the difference between the two feuds.
Yeah, with Finn, you had, I think it was a respect storyline, so you had a real highlight of movesets. These guys were showing off to each other in the ring. And with Joe, like you said, they hated each other. It was a let's beat each other's heads in. With Bobby, I almost feel like there might be a comedy element to it. I don't know if I want that or not.
Could be comedy and a lot more showboating too, I feel like. A lot more taunting.
Definitely.
Okay. Let's see what the board is saying here. Revival just needs some slick suits and Ric Flair by their side to complete the Brainbusters analogy. Yeah.
Yeah.
And JVL Shadow says, give them Rude 2, another fortune. So Rude and the Revival.
Oh, and bring back Fortune. So that was a stable from TNA days.
Right. I don't know. I could see that. I could get down with that.
He's always been a faction guy too. Even looking back at his TNA run.
Yeah.
Beer Money, and then you had, just like you said, Fortune.
Let's see. Upload test. Yes, a fourth member would be cool, but they may want to avoid making it out like they're the next four horsemen to avoid comparison with the original, and that they're just a retread. Maybe not. Maybe go 5. I don't know. 5, the 5 moves of doom. I don't know what it's called. So anything from the contract signing you guys take away from it besides what we already talked about?
No, I mean just
championship.
Yeah, just how impressive Nakamura is, and his promo skills have kind of, they've definitely gotten better since he's been on TV for WWE.
I agree.
Yeah.
All right. That's probably gonna. Kiera, you got anything you wanna throw out there? We'll do a little.
Let's hear it,
round
Kiera.
the tape. Well, you know what?
Oh wow, the
Hold your thought.
pressure.
Hold your thought.
Sure.
Think about it.
Oh.
We got the big question coming up. The closeout. The big question you have about NXT moving forward, which is also your final thoughts. Before we do that, don't forget Rawsome on Mondays after Raw, SmackDown on Tuesdays after SmackDown. Here also Thursdays, as we're doing right now, the Takedown. Join us on social media. Don't forget to do your Smart Mark Awards. Go on our website, markedOutWrestling.com, and you can vote for our many categories of the Smart Mark Awards, which we will reveal at our anniversary show, Royal Rumble. Today is the last day, WrestlingRadioAwards.com. Last day you can vote for us for either new best show of the year or best new show. Again, we're swinging for new show. So please go do your last day of voting. Do it now or right after the show, whatever. Don't forget, best new show, best show, WrestlingRadioAwards.com. All right, so let's start with Brian.
Sure.
The big question, your final thought. So give me your big question, your final thought, and then we'll go to Kiera.
So I'm going to do final thought part A. I mean, it's one of the obvious ones.
Ooh.
What are they going to do with Dillinger, and where does he go from here? Are we going to see him finally debut at the Rumble? I mean, that's really what I took away from last night. And then my second one, and he was completely absent from the show, is Samoa Joe. Is he another one that's going to be showing up at the Rumble?
I don't think he's not booked for.
That's what I was just thinking, because he's
all.
not even on the card. I was just trying to think if he was. There's no match or anything for him. So I mean, as far as Joe goes, it kind of seems like he's on his way, unless they kind of pull just a late, try to flip it on us and he doesn't show up.
Yeah.
But I mean, really, it's just if Dillinger and Samoa Joe are going to show up, and finally, are we going to see them on Raw and SmackDown?
Okay. Those are great big questions. You got any great big questions, Kiera?
I don't have any
Our final thoughts?
great big questions. I really don't have that much. The one thing that I have been wondering about is Hideo. What's going to happen with him? I mean, he's gotten injured once again, and this guy was big time, from like before NXT till now, and I just don't know. I'm kind of like I'm really scared for his career now.
Well,
it's up in.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
I was just saying, me and you have watched many of the Breaking Ground series, and we've seen these guys who get hurt constantly get the axe.
Exactly, but I would think that they have some type of priority on him because they've kept him this long, and he's been injured for quite some time. So
okay,
before this time, but that's my big question I have.
Hideo Itami, your big question, Hideo Itami.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. My big question, I kind of echo with Brian, is Dillinger to me was the biggest question of this last NXT show. Rude and Nakamura is going to be what it's going to be. I think it's going to be an element of comedy with some great wrestling. I don't doubt that at all. Is it time for Nakamura to move up, or do you keep him for the Orlando takeover, which I think you absolutely do? Maybe Nakamura Rude Part 2. Maybe. So my big question is Dillinger. Dillinger, you are on everybody's mind, bud. Are you going to move up to are you going through the Rumble, number 10? Are they going to tease us and put you at number 11? Because that would be a dick move.
Yeah, that's exactly what I thought last night, and I can totally see them trying to stick it to us.
Absolutely. And Samoa Joe also going up, and Adam was I don't want to see Samoa Joe and Kurt or Samoa Joe and AJ Styles. I've seen it. Well, my retort, and I didn't say it at the time. My retort is, you know what, Joe, and I think you said this, Kiera.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it. I didn't watch TNA. I haven't seen.
Yeah, everyone hasn't followed TNA to see those matches, so.
And the problem with that logic, and I've never said this before, and I can't wait to yell at him about it.
Yay!
Is how can you say that? Like, if these matches are great and people are talking about it,
Mm-hmm.
and I've seen it before. Okay, sure, you've seen it before, but you've seen it in a different light. You haven't seen it on this spotlight. You haven't seen it in a WWE production or NXT production. I mean, why wouldn't you want something that's great?
Yeah.
And they're just gonna. It translates. It's not like you're doing Dumb and Dumber and then Dumb and Dumber 2.
Mm-hmm.
Like.
Yeah.
With wrestling, you can have the same. I mean, it's a tried and true formula that's worked for years. Why not?
Right.
If something's great,
Yeah.
I don't understand why you wouldn't want to see it.
When I worked on morning radio, we would listen or check back or spy on people who were on the West Coast and see what gimmicks or segments they were doing, and we would steal the fuck out of them. We would steal their segments all the damn time, right? It's laboratories of innovation. If you see something that works, and now Vince has these people on his roster, they are assets to his company. Why would you not use them in a way that you already know is going to work?
Right.
Because your fans who have seen it before, they're like, oh, hell yeah, I'm down for this again. Your fans who haven't seen it before are like something new from what we've been watching on the main roster over and over and over again. I am so totally down to see that now. I'm excited. So those are the big questions. And this was the big show. So thank you for listening, watching us, listening to us on our Takedown show here. This week has been it's a horrible week for me.
Yeah, I feel bad, man.
You've been through a lot.
Yeah, I've been through a lot. Dental work and everything else, and my performance has suffered. I have suffered for this.
You've still been great.
I've been.
You're wonderful.
All right, but I want to thank Kiara for joining us on the show.
Of course,
She's so
my
awesome.
pleasure.
Yeah, thanks, Kiara. This was fun having you.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, if she was on time, maybe she would have contributed more. But
Right.
Yeah,
it's okay.
No,
Mom duties.
It's okay.
Mom duties.
Mom duties.
Mom duty. Mom. Ooh. Ew.
Mom duties.
Mom duties. That's.
I guess that didn't come out right.
All right. I want to say thank you to Upload Test, JVL Shadow, and Steve Awesome, who was on the board. Jonathan Duran jumped on there. The phone call we had from we had Scott Hall called us today, and we had Big Papa Pump called in today. He gave us his hookup.
Yeah, maybe it was the WCW shirt. I don't know.
There you go.
You are WCW Monday
Nitro.
I think we got time for one more, then we'll call the show. Who we got on the line?
Hi, this is Paige.
Hi, Hey, Paige. Paige, so how is it going with Alberto? Is your life completely ruined yet, or you still got more to go?
Well, he keeps telling me that he wants to wear the pants in the family, and, I keep on telling him, this is my house. So, this is my house, Rio, and you need to stop. Something told me to call this number. I don't know why.
I don't know. I mean, apparently it's getting around that this is just, the bomb diggy of shows, and all the celebrities, all the mainstream wrestling people should be calling in. So, Paige, we appreciate it. By the way, Paige, if you get a chance, we got a guy who listens named Jonathan, and Jonathan is a huge fan of yours. So.
Jonathan?
Yeah.
Yes, I heard about him. He's a handsome guy. I saw him on Facebook.
Oh, he's stalking him.
Go.
Okay. I thought it would be the other way around.
Wow. I got to do more cocaine, so I'm sorry. Bye.
Jesus.
All right. See you later, Paige.
Bye, Paige.
Bye.
All right.
In my house.
All right. Awesome. All right. Thomas is on the board, and Green and Gold on the board, and Steve Awesome, Upload Test. Watch Wrestling Streams is on there trying to pimp their shows, so that's cool. Whatever. That's cool. I'm down with that. Fuck it.
Yeah, I like watching wrestling.
I like watching wrestling. That's what we do. All right. So we're going to get out of here, guys, and we certainly do appreciate you being with us. Okay, one final thought from Upload Test. My bro, we always hear about his bro, thinks they're keeping Brian off SmackDown to make it a surprise. What's that word? I don't know. A surprise when he is in the Rumble, and furthers his feud with Miz by eliminating him. Ooh. I actually considered that Brian would not only get inducted in the Hall of Fame, but he also might come back for one match at Rumble against Miz. Might get cleared for that. Because everybody else has cleared him with WWE, right? All the other doctors have cleared him.
Yeah.
So maybe they bring him back for one match against Miz, but I had not considered the Royal Rumble option, which I think
the place would fucking explode.
It would pop. It would pop. It definitely would pop.
I don't know. I don't see him coming back. Personally.
Yeah, I think this is it.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
JD, you're too late, man. Paige called. She says she's heard of you, though. She's stalking your Facebook page, so that's fun. All right, guys. So appreciate it very much. NXT or the Takedown show covering NXT, the Takedown.
Yes.
For Brian, Kerr, and myself, mark out like nobody's watching.
I'll catch you on the flip side.
Marked Out Podcast is recorded, edited, distributed, and marketed at U-Record Studios in Charlotte, North Carolina. For more information on optimizing your podcast for increased listenership, check out U-Record on Facebook, Twitter, and email sales@urecordstudios.com or visit the website www.urecordstudios.com.
Yes! 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 Yes!
You're listening to the Electronic Media Collective Podcast Network. Yeah, it's a mouthful. For more great shows, visit electronicmediacollective.com.